Fast kid. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah. Are you gonna drive the next one? Yeah.
How's it going, Matt? How you doing, Matthew?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I mean, I was bullshitting, but it's going pretty fast. I bet you I can push on that. Try it. Well, yeah, I guess I can always pull back.
How you doing?
Hey,
Try
man.
pulling it up. Yeah. This is Mark.
Hey, Mark. How's
He's
it going,
gonna be
man?
here too, watching this for us.
Cool, cool. So what was going on?
Well, it's going down really fast, but the problem with that is we're going to have to do a 15,000 pound push test. Remember we talked about that? And my winch doesn't have a 15,000 pound capacity, and I was able to pull it up.
Right.
So I think they're probably going to need to go deeper. I'll just push on it right now. Maybe I'll put like.
Which one did you want to load test?
Well, ideally James wanted one on this
Yeah.
corner because that's where the ravine is, obviously. I mean, and that's going to be worst case scenario because that's the tallest point
Which
of
one
the wall.
can you get to?
I mean, if you're not too worried about exact pressures, I can just put, we can put a gauge on there
How
and
long
then
of a
push
beam is that?
on the
20
pile
feet?
with the
20
machine
foot?
to see
Yeah.
how much we're getting.
What gauge?
Water jack.
You roll like less
Oh,
than
and you
1 second.
just dead.
Yeah.
You just shut the machine off right on top of it, and
Yeah.
it'll jack off of.
Yeah, off of the
beam.
bottom of the lead or something. He had this whole welding test set up and everything.
Yeah,
but
no damage
if I
at all
can
to
see
the
that, that's
tip at all.
yeah.
But then,
No, a little bit of
So
mushroom
basically,
good.
our gauge is going to pick up the weight.
yeah, I know. So what's the weight of that? You think?
Oh, I don't know, but I bet you that pushes down at like 5,000.
And then if we can get it to max capacity, it'll be the dead weight of that, and then it'll push against
And
the
then I'll
hydraulics.
start lifting up against the machine. So I'll actually push down with the machine.
Yeah, but it should. I mean, you've got probably on the front end of that thing, I don't know, 5,000, 6,000
Yeah,
pounds.
at least. And then once I get the front end of the machine up, it'll be.
And then
But
if
I mean,
you
let me
spin
push
around
on it really quick because there's no point in testing it if I can just.
push it with the lead.
Yeah, I mean that's probably.
All right, let's try it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of deflection. Wait. Yep. Moving. Yeah, like a half inch. Half inch.
That's maybe 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, it might be a little more with you pushing on it.
Well, what's this thing weigh? Overall, I think it's like.
It might be a little more than 5. It's no 14 though, that's for sure.
No.
Let me see what we got.
I mean, if you want, I can drive the other piles and set up the test and do all that, but this would save them from paying for a test that's not going to pass.
It's failed.
I don't want to, because basically you
Question
charge,
is-
it's like a couple grand for a test,
Yeah.
and there's no point,
No, it's
and then I'm
done.
going to have to retest anyway, so
Yeah.
I don't want to.
So what are we looking at needing to do here?
Well, that's what we're going to have to, they're going to have to make a determination of how much deeper we need to drive.
Oh, we just need to drive it. We need
Well,
to.
Right,
little bit
because
deeper.
you're in crappy soil.
Yeah, we need to get into a little bit better bearing soils.
Yeah.
I mean, that, for sure over there it'd be good.
Yeah.
And if you want, I can try to drive that corner over there. I mean, it should be every one of these.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I remember
How
the
strong is your
geoprofile,
weld?
and it
Can you
sticks up
weld?
over. It's the
Oh, I can get
geoprofile
it
is
so
is good over there.
Fail at all.
So,
I mean, we brought an 8-inch beam, so we could weld it from one to the other, and then use that as a reactionary thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
just make a bigger one.
You guys sometimes weld flat,
Yeah.
In
We've
the
got
lateral
a whole setup where we can weld extensions on.
and they let you do that in the lateral section of the
Yeah. It ends up
retain
just-
part.
Yeah, it ends up being a continuous piece. We'd have to submit that, and then it'd have to.
I've
be
seen
inspected.
Viets weld though.
No.
No. It probably, if you push that down to the whaler, that would give us 6 more feet.
The design is for 15,000
And then we'd be
down
down-
drag.
Right
So-
now we're down 12 from here.
So they're wanting to.
We'd be down
inspect there.
18. I don't know if we'd even be through that fill. I forgot
I don't know.
my
That's the
damn.
that's the $1 million question: is how
Do you
much.
have our report? A copy of it?
I do. I've got it on the
copy of it
computer.
right here.
Oh.
Oh,
great.
you do? Nice. There's a cross section at the end of it that shows you how deep the fill is on that end.
So this one we could always just drive it down and see how far we got to go before.
That's kind of what I'm thinking we
Right?
might try.
I mean, it's already in the ground, right?
Yeah, we could just drive it and see if it stops,
Yeah.
and then they'll just weld on it. The other question,
I love it. I love it.
The other question is, do we need all that vertical load? I mean, that's pretty piss poor if you can just push on it.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Because the only vertical load he's getting is just from the that tieback. Just pulling the tieback, pulling it down a little bit. But these tiebacks aren't stressed at the end of this whole show. Like Matt's not going to torque the shit out of them, so they're not even going to be loaded until the wall
fails
and pushes.
Until the wall starts to move and pulls on it.
Great.
So we don't really need any vertical until, but that's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Here, let me show you where. Yeah, where's the?
So we're just using a helical as the tieback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Driving
I gotcha.
eight tens,
Mm-hmm.
evenly spaced down the wall.
Oh, I swear it's in here, man. Like 5, 6. What did he know? I think I wrote it out. But anyways, it should be. Up to 12 feet along the northern property line. Upper retaining wall was built on 12 feet, so
we're 20 feet.
we have, if we go, so 12 feet from there should be the bottom of the fill, technically speaking, and we're down 12 feet.
Yeah.
You might be just a couple feet
Yeah.
Just
above
drive
it.
a couple feet.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Well, then that beam's, yes, we have to weld that beam, you know?
Yeah. Well, the thing is
It doesn't pass right now, though, is the other thing.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do with the
fails.
beam right now, right? I mean,
fails, yeah.
so we got. I mean, what else can we do? Pull it out or shove it in more?
Yeah, exactly. The only other thing is we could call Blaze and say, hey, how much do you need vertical?
But I mean, all of their design is, correct me if I'm wrong, but is taken up, like you said, with the Whaler. They don't need a toe in on the bottom, do they? I mean,
Yeah, we need a toe.
Okay, because that doesn't have a toe.
Well, we designed it for a super low. We designed it for shitty fill. The toes, the passive on that's 250 pounds. We usually give people backfill of house foundations 350.
That's crazy.
Basically, we're saying that this is worth, and the toe doesn't start, Matt, for 11 till 11 feet down. This thing is designed, if everything is legit, it's designed to have 11 feet of boards. You could have 11 boards. That's the idea. So if that lower wall poops out, he can go back in later and lag it to 11 feet, and below, if it drops below 11, then you got to put in another row of anchors or something. And right now you only got 8 stick up.
So basically, let me call John to keep him in loop, and then I'll probably end up driving it down a couple more feet.
Yeah, I think so. Well, James, I don't know what I'm going to tell him.
Well, let's put a 1 foot mark on it too, and then see what it does within that foot.
It should be.
I've got this corner beam here, which is going to be worst case scenario. It's the northernmost section of the wall, northwesternmost section of the corner beam. It drove like butter. I mean, nothing hindering it whatsoever. And I went to pull the strap a little bit and pull the beam out like butter. So obviously it's not deep enough. And in order to save the customer money, I just said, look, let me just push on it just a little bit with the machine and see if it goes down versus setting up a whole test.
We were right on the
just
money.
pushing on it just a little bit with the machine and sunk down like 2 inches. So we're thinking, I'm talking to Jason out here in North Brunswick, the exchange engineer, but we're thinking that maybe
We were thinking the wheel's not very efficient anyways. We better reinvent it.
So our thought is just to drive this.
These young engineers like to come out and start from scratch.
I don't like the wheel.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
It's no good. Right? Mark, you want help? Where do you want to park? Yeah, I'd say we drive this one until it stops. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This is all the old foundations.
Well, this was a shed type thing. But when we dug these handholds, this is where we blew up. This is the job we blew up all three of those augers on. That you had to weld. Because this feels pretty bony.
It's just whatever they
Well, at first we're kind of like, this looks like till. This kind of might be native. We don't know. And then I got 9 feet down here, and I hit some real bad stuff that I was like, okay, this is weird. This is fill. So I went to the city and got those old street profiles, and just out of the blue, right down Sycamore, right in between these two houses, there's a 19-foot ravine that the city pushed in and filled in, running right down here.
And that's when they filled it in. It was whatever they had around.
Yeah.
And he had no. I mean, there's no way you would have known that buying the house. Like
No. And you know what? I mean, this whole wall was covered in like 30 years of ivy, so I had no idea. And there was a shed there. I had no idea what was going on
I think
here.
it says 8 feet or something on that end.
Okay.
Or 6 feet on that end. We could try one over here if that was John. That was John.
Well, yeah, because we're thinking obviously, John said it's going to be cheaper to just get longer beams versus.
To buy them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Versus having to weld on each one of them.
Well, you can't pull that one out, can you?
I might be able to.
If you're leaning on it.
Yeah, I think I probably could.
Is that what he'd rather try with that file?
Well, he said he thought it was a good idea to try to drive it a few more feet and see if I'll drive it really slow throttle and see if we get
Any type of resistance.
Any type of resistance. But also what that's going to end up doing is making it harder to test it. I can still track out like I said. Well, say we get into resistance, then we still got to prove it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I could probably, like I said, put that jack on there and see.
That's what we're doing anyways.
What type of refusal criteria do we have?
You're not going to get anything on top of that, are you?
Huh?
How the hell would you test it off this?
What we would do is
cantilever some hokey.
Yeah, well, that's what we've got that bigger beam. We're gonna take two of the, basically use those as reactionary beams.
Sides?
Yeah, one on either side, weld it across, and then jack up against that big.
The box beam.
And then you'd be pulling on the other two.
You'd be pulling them up, right? Just, and then ideally there's.
Sounds dicey. So if this is right, we supposedly have 12 feet on this side, underneath where Mark's at, and 5 feet on that line.
Was it a significant?
I want to take your last one. I got one in my truck.
You'll be able to notice it, right?
I never got to it.
Oh, okay.
This is all based on.
Long time ago, I stole a couple from Tony.
And
I
that
still
street
have 'em.
profile, and interpolated the slope in between.
Yeah.
Because we never got to the bottom. Like I say, my hand auger only goes 12 feet total, but I only got to 8 or 9 because we kept blowing them up. But obviously, I'm a lot weaker than your hammer.
Oh, come on, give yourself some credit.
You should have
I
seen
thought it
these
was
guys.
pretty-
They were,
He's gonna be out here by hand driving.
dude, they were out here just twisting
I thought it
and.
was pretty bony, but apparently not so bony. I mean, Mark saw the tips of those.
Yeah, I know. We beefed them up pretty good.
But
Alright, well let me drive this, I'll just drive this down low throttle to see if there's
Or-
any sort of resistance.
yeah,
and
or
then we
full-
could set up that test maybe on top of it.
okay,
See
just to
if
see what we
there's
got, because
yeah.
we need to do that anyways to decide how long the beams are, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean I can drive up to I think 26 footers with this setup.
Okay.
That sort of sucks is that with the closures, now that you know, you have to disclose it
Oh,
when you sell your house.
the ravine exists?
Probably.
Yeah.
It sucks how they do that shit.
Well, now he built the.
That's I mean, when I go and I tell them, yeah, your house is built on a ravine, and oh, by the way, there's a $70,000 retaining wall, but that was just built. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Ain't going nowhere now.
Yeah, and here's all the paperwork, and here's the engineering. I mean,
Right, yeah.
I mean, what are they?
Right.
Great,
Yeah.
You look a lot better than your neighbor.
well, this
who's
is the
on
only,
same
as far as
ravine.
I'm concerned, the rest of the block is going to slide down around me, probably,
You're
right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look pretty
Okay.
good compared to the neighbor who's got
Nothing really.
All right, let me.
This
tap it
one's
a little
kind of
more.
dicey. No, this is the big one right here.
All right.
I mean, because we're not even at grass grade down there yet.
Close.
Look how low the street is below that.
I know, yeah. Blaze had these things? You know Blaze at all?
I can have John give Blaze a call and see if they, just throw it out.